Hey there, I'm JB and I am very much in the mood to play this game. And I don't mean that sarcastic, I am actually very much in the mood. I've seen a lot of people play this game and it tickles me to play this game myself. Now the last time we actually got the whole tutorial stuff completed, which is tier 0. This time let's go into the base building because we definitely going to need to make something before we can actually set up all of our production lines and whatnot. And the one thing that I would also take a little look at is the ticket machine, because a ticket machine is going to be super duper important for us to unlock all kinds of fun stuff, which is actually called the awesome shop. Now of course we're also going to get a lot of power ready, which we're going to do with the biomass burner. And I actually got a tip that the biomass burner now has like an input, so you don't have to manually add some of this biomass fuel. That is what it's called. So I got a lot of stuff to do. Let's go in here and then we need to unlock this tier. So let's select this milestone. And the good thing is I've been doing a little bit of camera stuff, so you can right away add some of these goodies. And then there we go.
Milestone reached. Several new structures are now available for improving factory organization. Foundations provide a building grid, which makes it easier to manage placement of any structure. In the event that you are experiencing amnesia for all events prior to planetfall, be reassured that memories of beloved humans and/or animals would have only been distractions from your important mission.
Okay, very good. Now I have been thinking and doing and thinking, and I know exactly what I would like to do in this area. I have been saying, you know, I don't want to go too deep into detail building and stuff, but in the end, I am going to go into deep detail building. Besides, you know, this is a building channel. And what is a building channel without building, right? And I've been looking and getting inspired by a lot of other people the last couple of days, and normally I would start building on ground floor, right? And in this case I'm not gonna build everything on ground floor, a little bit, but not everything. What I really would like to do is make a ginormous platform, partly here and partly there. So this down here seems to be / is the highest ground to start off with. Now I don't want to build a platform straight away that way. Maybe I just have to see, because the higher I go, which is especially for this area down here, the more effort I need to put into going down, right? Or going up. So I just have to see how I'm going to do it, because it's a lot of flat ground, which is very nice. Alright, so in this case, some people that watch my channel know me. I'm not always 100% sure what I would like to do, right? So things can change now and then. But if you guys have some tips, tricks that I should be doing or avoid doing, be sure to let me know in the comment section. I actually got some tips from JD on how to set up, or if I like to set up 12 bio burners on a foundation of 5x7. I might just take a little look at that at some point. So in this case we are completely in foundation, which, you know, we could actually start building something nice. So in this case I have made up my damn mind and I'm going to build the first foundation right out here on this part. I just need to see, I think this would be perfect. Let's just do it. So here we be, the first foundation, and or I'm going to attach a ramp. I want to take the I think that will be fine. Let's see. Is it? It's / is fine. Yeah, this is perfect going that way. This is perfect going that way. I think this is a very nice height. Yes, we do have that stuff, but later on we can demolish it. Now this should be... Oh yeah, it's R. I know. Yeah. Now it says zoop. And zoop basically means you can repeatedly go down with this stuff, which is super duper handy. Let's just also do that with this. Now the one thing I am going to keep in mind, if we're going to work with vehicles, at some point we will, with AI vehicles, you're going to give them its own pathway. We need at least a one lane going that way. It needs to be at least 2 wide, because there is a vehicle that just doesn't fit on one of these things. At these trees we will build a chainsaw at some point, and then we can get rid of that stuff. So I like this a lot, and the reason why I've chosen to still do it here is also because right down there we can get our first coal power plant, if you would, because we're going to need some water. Now the bio power plant is something that I would like to not remove because it's going to be our Kickstarter. So now we have one lane to go up and one lane to go down. I want to keep that in mind very well. So the first thing that we are going to do is actually set up a little bit of power, right? I'm not sure why I walked this way though. For power, we need to have 12 of these, which is going to cost a lot. I'm not very good at math, but in order to have a little bit of automation going, I'm going to set up something for right now, because standing at the workstation and having spacebar to do the work is going to take a little bit of time. Or with other words, we're going to need to set up something just for right now. We will remove that later on, unlike certain other things that I don't want to remove later on, just like the biomass burner, what we're going to set up. So let's just place this thing down here. Power cable, that guy, and a power cable to that guy. So in this case, this guy in the end will produce a 40 megawatt altogether. So that is these two. I do have plenty of stuff in here as well as plenty of stuff in this one, right? But the only thing I might need to do for a minute is get into here. Yeah, we don't have the suppressed bio stuff, which I mean that in tier 2. Yeah, the solid biofuel. So for that we're going to have screws, wire and concrete. I'm just going to select it and see if I can do it. I just need a little bit more of that and a little bit more of that. And I just said suppressed biofuel. Actually mean pressurized, or but let's just call it a solid biofuel. That's a lot more easier.
Milestone reached. Solid biofuel, created from any biomass, ensures maximum efficiency of biomass burners. To aid in biofuel production, the chainsaw allows for the removal of tougher wood and coral foliage. Additionally, your pocket dimension has been inflated to increase inventory size. Inspirational note: will you be the Fix-It Employee of the Month? You could be if you construct, automate, explore and exploit by eliminating all obstacles to efficiency. This isn't just fun, it's contractually mandated fun.
Yes, I definitely feel forced to play this game. I definitely feel forced to maximize my production, but I will be Employee of the Month. That's because day since last incident is on 2 still. I haven't died just yet, and I just seen that freaking camera up here. It's following me. Oh, that is creepy. Oh man, I'm getting a little bit of Portal vibes with this. You know, just a little bit, alright? That is creepy though. Anyways, that thing is doing its job and it will return, which basically now means, if I'm not wrong, we should also be able to make a chainsaw. Now it looks like I'm going to have a lot more production stuff, so let's make some more stuff. Alright, and there we have it. We have a chainsaw. Now, I do want to say, in the end, I will take care of this first base. It's going to look nice, at least. Okay, so I'm not just going to build a floating platform and then leave it with that. Okay, so the next thing that I am going to need... Ooh, look at this thing. Is it coming out? Oh, yes, it's coming out. Of course, I'm going to need to have some fuel. So in this case, I got all of my bio stuff, and we can now change this into... I wanted to say solid. Oh yeah, you first need to do this and then that. Alright, all honesty on a stick. Making these types here doesn't take a lot of time. Making solid biofuel takes quite a while, and I already had enough of this, because why would I just sit here for like 1 hour watching some YouTube and then yeah, let this go as it goes, if I can actually use the game to do it for me. So I'm just gonna stop it right down there, and we have machines that can do that, right? So the machine that we're going to need, I believe, is a constructor. Now this thing will cost 2 reinforced plates, right? And another thing that I am going to need, well, actually 2 things that I'm going to need is a storage container. Storage container will take plates and rods. Now the nicest thing of this game is we can do it to the to-do list. We can actually do that and then have this guy. Right, now we have a total amount of stuff that we're going to need for what I want. And do I love this game for that. Okay, so I'm going to, this is also just for now, just gonna place this guy right out here, right? And this guy will take care that we can do this. Now it's gonna be super handy because I could already add in. I don't think everything, so that's why I would like to have some storage area so I can just dump everything in there. And the other end is going to be, yeah, where all the stuff get into. Then I have to manually put it in there. But later on, this was from JD, the biomass burners, which is basically the same as this, but then a separate idea, will have an input. So we could basically have this guy immediately input all of the stuff in the biomass. And then the only thing we have to do now and then is just, you know, get some leaves and wood. If you hold control, you can just, you know, do it like this. You don't want to... Is this perfect? Because I feel like maybe it is. So let's just place it here and just see, you know, what I just did. Yeah, I think that is perfect. Now, of course, we have hold Alt and then scroll in order to, you know, move our slot bar, which is just insanely perfect, beautiful. And then short as possible, we're just going to do that in here. And I do believe you can even make it shorter, but we do want to take care that we can pass through or go underneath, right? Which is perfect. That's, no, that's not gonna work, you know? No. And then, oh no, we're missing some iron plates. Now this is the thing you will get a lot at the beginning. Perfect, so we got a basic setup right down here. Now the next thing I'm going to need to do is take care that this thing will be powered. Yes, I'm gonna take a separate power line. Cost even more resources, but it's okay. And now this thing should be no power. And that's because I didn't turn the thing on just yet. But let me just drop all of this stuff in here. This should be maybe transfer stack. Yeah, shift click, so I only have to click once instead of double click. Very good. I hope that I can just do it with one. You know, because the other one doesn't have anything. I hope the game doesn't like, okay, yeah, one is turned off. Let's also turn the one that does work off. Where it seems like it will work like this. So we have power for 20. We only need a 4. And this is a constant flow unless this thing runs out of stuff. Which in this case is not the case. Okay, cool. We got our first automation set up. This is going to help me a lot because now I can just do other stuff meanwhile this thing is doing its thing. I'm gonna grab a couple of these because... Oh yeah. Now we can just do this. And it is gone. Now we have a single mode and we have area mode. Now single mode is just one tree, right? And area mode is just one tree and the rest in a certain circle. Because sometimes you would just like to keep, you know, for example, a nice tree that is near a spot where you want to build. Yeah, So I could set up another one of these which turn the leaves into packages, and then I need another one which can turn wood into packages, but I'm not gonna do that because it will only cost a lot more of this and a lot more of that. I'm just gonna do this with the hand because this absolutely doesn't take a lot of work, because at the end while I'm talking, which I'm trying to drag it out, I am done right now. Now the one thing I do recommend, always leave a little bit of this solid biofuel into your inventory chest, so if you run out of everything you can still have a little bit for your chainsaw and you don't have to do some extra work. Alright, now we're going to set up our first iron production, which we're going to need to have a miner, a constructor, and a couple of them, but let's start off with one. So we have 3 of these nodes over there. Now this thing only takes 5 megawatts and this thing poops out 60 per minute. So let's just start off with 1. Now then we want to put everything to a smelter because we need to make it into bars, and this thing can handle, it doesn't say so, but let's just do 1 for now, and then probably because it can handle different recipes, that's why it doesn't show how much per minute. Oh boy, what just happened at the side of me? So you know what, let's just start off with that, so then we can decide what to do. I think this tree lost his leaves a little bit because these bugs were flying out of it. This should be perfect. Let's add in this guy into that guy. That looks fine. And now we can actually take a little look for the recipe. What it will do. It will do 30 per minute and we pop out 60 per minute. Or with other words, we need to find a way to actually split this stuff up. Now I'm not sure if we can already do that, but let's take a little look. I think it's going to be important to work efficient as possible. There we go. Yeah, so here we have a splitter. We're just going to need to have this kind of stuff, and once I just dump it in here, this is going to be my only issue. So let's get my butt to work. Alright, that will be enough. I can now do this and off we go.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to save space and enhance the productivity of your factory. Fixit encourages you to consider investing in verticality when it comes to factory logistics. If you feel stressed by this complexity, imagine yourself on the shore of a vast and calm ocean. Breathe in, visualize all the people relying on you. The sea is made of billions of faces, each staring at you with hope and tears in their eyes. Breathe out, feel refreshed and focused on your duties.
Man, the motivation of Ada is just perfect. Yeah, millions of faces rely on me, which are you guys. You guys are the ones that I need to entertain. Anyways, let's get into this stuff, and then we have a couple of new things. This is something we definitely going to need later on in order to get all of the goodies up to our platform. We're going to have this one. I have enough, so yeah, let's get to it. Alright, there are a couple of ways how we can do it. We could just have the conveyor belt go into the machine and then later on add the splitter, or we can just place the splitter down. And we need to do this the correct way. A little bit of spacing between in, so we can just jump, hop, and whatever. And let's just put everything back. I'm sorry, you're not gonna pass through one of these guys. Now I could eventually actually add a merger, so we can merge 2 platers together into one container. I think that would be better than having 2 containers. So let's do that, and then we have 30 coming out of there, which it makes 20 per minute. It accepts 30, so we're gonna have in total 40 per minute. Now it is also very handy that we can actually hold control in order to line stuff up, so let's line it up. And it's also gonna be super duper handy, and I'm thinking about it, is to power this guy up. We have, yeah, so now it's full, 4 out of 4. And for our platform, we're also going to have a concrete production. So that's why I actually left one of these. So now I can just, you know, set up one down there and attach a couple of machines to that. And maybe there is over there another concrete thing. So let's just also set this one up right over there. Another new thing in this game is that we should be able to connect this up more nicer than this. I just need to see what button I need to use for that. Maybe it's R. Yeah, you see that? Oh man, this is perfect, because before you had to make it until here, then make an extra going around the corner, and then connect it up into the machine, which right now it just does it instantly. And select the recipe and press escape. There we go. So now we have a efficient maximum amount of production going. Yeah, so keeping an eye out on power is also very important. Gladly, I still have one left. There we go. Okay, so yeah. Blown fuse achievement. But yeah, we're using 25 total and we have 40. I'm going to need to keep this in mind because once we do the concrete stuff, yes. Now, gladly, this game isn't too punishing. We can just grab it from all the way up here. Let's turn this thing... no. Okay, maybe just from here. Okay, not too punishing. This will work. And we need more plating. Wait. Hold on. Look at this. Why did I run all the way to the workshop to make more plating while I just got it in hand reach? Alright, so this is the basic setup, what we need in order to make a mass platform. Now the only thing that I'm going to do between now and the end result of the platform, so far I can do it, is make up another of these setups right down here from that area and connect up the other conveyor belt to this merger so we have extra concrete. And so it is almost 4 in-game days later, and let me show you what a heck of a work I've been doing. I have been building a foundation platform of 30 by 70, which is 2,100 foundations, which I needed 10,500 concrete, which in the end is 31,500 limestone. It seems a bit crazy, but this is really needed in a game like this. You might wonder, how did she do that with just 2 limestone miners? Well, let me show you. Alright, it is very silent right now, but you can understand it was very noisy. I got about maybe 14-15 of these extra hand miners down there, which were really needed, or else I wouldn't be done by now. But yeah, it covers up a lot, but this will take care that I can make max use of the whole area instead of messing around with these little cliff sides here and there. Also, the guy is still on there. Okay, I'll just leave you alone. As I wanted to say, this will also give me very easy and nice looking access to a couple of the areas that are around this spot, which is way higher than the ground level. So for an example, I can very easily make a ramp go down there, have also this copper ore coming up. The same goes for all the iron down here. There are a couple of things along the edges that would be nice to get onto here, and there is enough room for expansion. For an example, I already know that at some point I would like to expand this a little further, and then I want to ramp it down then on such a way that it flows down with the ground down there, which will bring us to a whole new area. I got enough expansion to go to that area, while there are a couple of nodes here and there that can be useful. Also for, I have to really be careful, the other side over there is enough space for expansion, but I am going to be careful. This is a game where you can build a lot, but you should also keep in mind there are enough other spaces to build factories and lead all of the resources and stuff to, let's say, one general main storage area, which I really would like to build, which is going to be maybe just as big as this. Now, of course, there are tiny little things that I would like to fix up. For an example, there is like this cliffside, so maybe I'll just add that too, so I just don't fall into the gap. Yeah, I'm not going to wall it all up. I am going to make some nice buildings onto here, which I also am going to wait a little bit until I have access to like decorative walls or decorative stuff, colors and that good things. So I will build like little assembly lines, little factories here, maybe another floor on here and whatnot. But if it's about decorating, already be careful. Now I also want to say, so far I haven't noticed any problems with this stuff. It just seems to be yeah, safe, if you would, which is very nice. I don't have to worry about these gases, and I don't especially have to remove it. Yes, there is a yellow thing below, At some point I might need to blow stuff up, or I'm not sure if there's a hazmat suit in this game. Maybe there is, because there's also nuclear power to be found, so I'm gonna assume there is some sort of a hazmat suit or protection. There are a couple of trees around in the area that I'm going to need to remove at the sides. And then down here there is a tiny little thing that sticks out of the platform, which maybe I'll just leave this thing here until I understand exactly what this thing is, and if I'm really going to need this. Of course at some point I can also make something decorative onto this rock. This really reminds me of the Star Wars planet Coruscant or something like that, where it is basically looks like a Death Star. There is nothing to be seen nature and ground wise, and then there is one spot where there's like a rock sticking out, and that is like the highest mountain of the planet. But yeah, I'm going to clean some of this stuff up. I did find a lot of power slugs that I'm going to grab. I don't think it will say something. Summer loop? No? I'm going to figure that out. Maybe there is another one I can find somewhere and then see what it exactly is needed for. Probably I'm going to need it for something, but as long as I don't really need it, I'll just leave it there. And then, yeah, down here I'm really at the edge of the map down here. I can, however, make a ramp go down there because there are a couple of coal nodes, I believe, and there is a couple of other stuff to be found, like a crash site right over there. So yeah, there is a lot of stuff and a lot of things. Anything else? Not really. I'm looking forward to the whole show. And man, this place is so big, it's going to need its own transport system. Maybe a train, or maybe vehicles or something, because walking around in this area takes a long time. It is absolutely crazy. And that thing can almost...